Hey guys, Carter here. Welcome to the Alpha Desert Racing Championship, the BeamNG series, where I pit 8 drivers against each other out in the middle of the desert. Today's episode, we got round 1, season 1, Johnson Valley. It's gonna be a custom course. We'll look a little bit into the track map in a minute. Like I said, it's gonna be 8 drivers, all trophy trucks or Baja trucks. And let's look into that in a minute. And here's your round 1 drivers lineup. As you can see, 8 drivers, 8 different trucks, 1 race. Here's the track map for today's race. Starting at the green dot, it's going all the way down, hitting the horseshoe. You gotta be careful there. A lot of rollovers can happen. They're taking a nice long straightaway over some very jagged, bumpy terrain. Up, and then back down the back straight. Following the bottom and back into Dune Kicker Base Camp. Time starts when the vehicle moves. We'll be using stock tires, stock engines, and stock suspension, so stock vehicles. First place equals 8 points, 8th place equals 1 point. Everything in between counts down. A DNF still gets points. It's based on the distance completed, where you place in the championship. Let's start with driver 1, Timothy Jonathy, driving the HPI Dodge. Here's Jonathan taking his start at the Dune Kicker Base Camp. As stated before, the time starts when the truck moves. It is completely up to the driver when the time starts. Jonathan taking that corner very clean. The big challenge with all these trucks is they are rear-wheel drive, so you have to keep the back end in order, otherwise you are not getting power to the ground. Here we go, approaching the first horseshoe. Now this may look straight on the map, but is very dangerous. I'd argue one of the most deadly parts of the map. Plenty of ditches, bumps, crevices, cracks, grooves, uneven terrain to flip your truck over. It's very crucial that you keep your truck going as fast as possible to go over all these bumps. Into the next tight little corner. If you're not careful, this one will catch you as well. Johnny takes it clean. And here we go on to the second most dangerous part of the map. A few little bumps here and there, kind of off camber corners, and some of the bumps are a little bit on an angle. And there you can see, kicks the left side of the truck up. But Jonathan keeps moving in stride. Up the hill, you want to make sure you don't take too much speed down the hill. And back up. You want to be careful right there as well. It's a deadly little kicker. It'll flip your truck right over. And we approach the dunes. Throttle control is key through here. This soft sand will eat you up. See if Jonathan can take this corner. Takes it pretty clean. That corner catches a lot of drivers off guard. They go very quick through there and end up in the sand. We are back in the desert. The back straight kind of bounce between desert and dunes. I know it's kind of the same thing, but desert for me is the shrubland. dunes is the soft sand. Nice little shot of the sunset here in Johnson Valley. A nice little onboard shot with Jonathan. So he takes the corner just a little bit wide. Keeps the speed up. Now we're through most of the challenging obstacles of the course. Now it's just making sure you remain smooth, consistent, clean, and fast. Right here's the one last part that really catches people off guard. You can see Jonathan bicycles up onto the left side, holds onto it, and keeps his speed. Over the kicker, that's been known to catch people off guard. Through the final S-bend. Up over one more kicker, coming into the final straight. And then this is where you want to get the power down and cross the finish line. And Jonathan will finish in 4:19.37. An overall good starting run, I'd say, for the series. Jonathan has always been a fan favorite in every previous series. We'll see how he fares against the rest of the competition. Up next, we have Fabian Power in the Gavril D-Series Screamer. And we're off. Nice smooth start from Power. Back end kicks out just a little bit. That's what I was talking about before with the throttle control. With these rear-wheel drive trucks, if you are not pointing straight, you are not getting power, you are not getting speed. Very important to keep that speed up in these for a good time. Power takes the horseshoe very well. We'll see if he can avoid catching any of these ditches with his front axle. Bouncing around just a little bit, keeping it fairly straight. As you can see, that back end really wants to break loose, but he's doing a great job at keeping it under control. Nice little onboard shot of just showing how truly bumpy this little back area is. Into the shrubs, we'll be very careful doing that. Don't want to do that too much. Some of those shrubs have rocks in them. But then you can see his back end kicks out just a little bit. He's off course. Here's a nice shot. Oh, big bicycle to the left. He's going to go wide over the hill. Nice and slowed down. Back up. Big air. And then back down and into the dunes. It looks like Power's having a little bit harder time keeping this truck under control than Jonathan. Hopefully this doesn't affect his time too badly. He's carrying a lot of speed through the corners. He can go wide. He is going to go wide, and that's what I was talking about before. Now you can see he's really having to put the power down and not getting a lot of speed out of it. Hopefully that does not affect him too badly in the end result. Here's powering on through the back straight. As you can see, it's not quite a perfect back straight. A few little kinks and turns through there. Power catching a couple of the rocks in the inside of the corner there. Very dangerous move. If you hit it wrong, it is going to send you. Does good through the last little kink there. Let's see if he can handle the sudden kicker that catches people off guard. Gets pretty big air off of it, actually. Onto the final curves and then onto the final straight. There he goes, powering down, and his time will be 4:30.22, so an 11-second difference between position 1 and position 2. Not that great of a run for Power. He had a really hard time keeping his rear end under control. Drivers are going to have to keep that in mind for the rest of the race. They're going to have to take what happened there, and they're going to have to learn from it, see what he did wrong, and apply it to themselves. On to driver number 3, Elmer Fishman, the only privateer of the group. Let's see how he can do. Elmer Fishman's off in the custom-built D Series. As I said before, this is the only privateer of the group. As you can see, unsponsored. Him and his brother are funding their way through the desert racing scene. We'll see if the small team can manage to pull something off here. He's carrying a lot of speed. Let's see if I can handle the horseshoe. Pretty well. Pushed it out wide just a little bit there, and he's back in the power going into the first straight. Suspension's handling pretty well. Ooh, back end kicks out. Oh, and he's rolling. Oh, and he's up and over. And that's going to result in a DNF. We'll hope that Elmer is okay inside of that truck there. Well, thoughts and prayers to Elmer. Hopefully he is okay inside of the truck. I will give you an update later in the broadcast on his condition. As I said before, that is a dangerous part of the map. Very important that you keep your rear end straight and power down through that area. Right there's a prime example of what can happen if anything goes wrong. Up next, Cosmo Martin. Cosmo off to a great start, getting that power down early. Gets a little bit into the soft sand there. As I said before, that really kills your speed off. Breaks early into the corner, pushes a little wide, back onto the power early. onto the deadly straight. Cuts the corner a little bit hard on the inside. Bounces around a little bit. That's going to kill some speed as well. Holding to the left side, as you can see the ambulance in the background there taking care of Elmer. And Martin does a fairly good job getting through the deadly straight. Takes the corner a little hard. He's doing that a little bit frequent in this run. Want to be careful with that. Very easy to catch the wrong angle on the tire and just roll the whole truck over. A little bit wide into the bushes there. Ooh, big bicycle. Can he land it? He will. That's going to burn a lot of speed into the shrubbery again. Barely misses a rock with his front left axle there. Hopefully not too much damage done to the truck. And you can see he's a little bit flustered now. His rear end's kicking out. He's driving a little erratic. And he is definitely flustered. See if he can clean it up going into the dunes. And as troubles continue through the dunes, he is just having a hard time keeping this thing on course now. Pushes through the corner. Oh, and the back end comes out. He is around. This is not good for time right here. As you can see, that sand is really just trying to hold him. He powers out of it, back onto the throttle. Now it's more than ever, it's imperative that he locks in. Back off course, back on course. As you can see, despite his problems he's been having here in this course, he is pushing very hard. Points are extremely important. Even the DNFs still get points. Oh, and he's bicycling again. He's way off course. See if he can avoid hitting any rocks and breaking anything. And he is back on. As stated before, DNFs still get points. So even if you have a bad run, it is imperative that you continue pushing as hard as possible for any points possible. Because everyone is fighting for points regardless of a finish or not. Through the rocks, up onto the rocks actually. And at this point it looks like he's just panic revving and holding that throttle all the way down. Hopefully he has no further issues in the course. Takes that corner fairly well onto the last little kicker here. As stated before, that has caught people off guard in practice, caused a rollover or two. Gets big air off of it, handles it fairly well. Into the last couple bends, and then onto the final straight. And Cosmo Martin will finish with a time of 4:23.33. So despite the couple spins and going off course, he reels it in and actually puts himself in second place. Now, will that time hold? I'm not entirely sure. Jonathan either had a really good run or these past two have been fairly slow. We'll have to hang on and find out. Up next, we have Bugsy Dale. We are day 2 in the ADR Desert Racing Championship. Bugsy Dale wasting no time putting the power down. And he has had a clean run so far in the opening few corners. Deep into the corner, and he is going to go very, very wide. Power back down. We're going back into the deadly straight. And just an update on Elmer Fishman. He is anticipated to make a full recovery and shall be back for round 2 of the ADR Championship. Bugsy Dale making very quick time through the deadly straights. Want to be careful through this corner. Like I said, that soft sand will catch you and it will roll you. A little bit wide. Let's see if we can reel it in. Nice wide angle shot, just showing how rugged that terrain is. And a nice onboard shot showing how very rugged the terrain is. It is just throwing his truck all around. Ooh, right there you can see catches a little bit of a piece of shrubbery and it kicks his back end out just a little bit. Up onto the hill. Back down, and right here is where we're going to be very careful. Right there you can see it kicks your rear end up very far. If you're not careful, it will completely flip you. And there are no flip over. If you flip over, there are no rollovers in the ADR. Once you are over, and your time is done. A little bit wide into the soft sand. He pulls it back onto the road fairly quickly. Shouldn't affect his time too much. Dale doing a great job at keeping the rear end under control, keeping that power to the ground. A little bit wide, but we're back on course and keeping that power down. Two minutes 5 seconds on the back checkpoint there. Right here's an area where it seems fairly inconspicuous, but that little S-bend there can catch you off and can send you flying into the pickers. But it does not bother Bugsy Dale. He is flying through this course. Last little technical section, we'll see how well he handles it. Back end kicks out just a little bit, he reels it in. This last corner can catch people off pretty hard on the inside there, and he bicycles just a little bit, takes the berm, and keeps moving. Handles the kicker just fine. Through the last few bends here. Up onto the final straight. Ooh, goes a little bit wide. Keeps the power down. 4:24.17. An okay run for Bugsy Dale. He kept the power down pretty well. It seems as if maybe he just was having a hard time finding that traction. Hard to blame him. Enjoy the ad. Welcome back to the ADR Championship. We have 5 trucks down, we have 3 more to go. It's been good so far, 1 DNF, 1 big crash. Here are your times so far. Jonathan in first place, 4:19.37. Martin in second place, 4:23.33. Dale in fourth place, 4:24.17. Power in fourth place, 4:30.22. And Fishman with his DNF. Next, we have Cedric Summers in the KMC Chevy. Summers off to a quick start here. One of 2 old trucks, him and Jonathan, are the only ones racing in vintage vehicles. This is an open class, so any vehicle technically is welcome as long as it meets specs. I say before, it needs to be somewhat stock. Tire pressures cannot be changed. Suspension cannot be changed from factory settings. Other than that, engine power does not matter. And vehicle weight, size do not matter as well. Oh, big bicycle. Loses the front fender. Shaky start from Summers. Let's see if you can reel it in. Back end kicks out a little bit, and that is not what you want down the deadly straight. That will eat you up. That'll send you flying. Very similar to Elmer Fishman. He straightens it out, and he is flying now. Nice shot of the truck from the ADR helicopter cam. And Cedric Summers is not wasting any time trying to get that time back from that bicycle. He is flying through the back section. Big bobble there. Another big bicycle. He's keeping it under control for now. He might be a little shaken. Hard through the corner. Lots of speed. And he catches the barrier. And that's going to equal a DNF. Let's see if he can get the truck off course. There we go. That was all captured on the ADR Helicam. Tough break for Summers, but that will put him above Elmer Fishman just because he did cover more ground than Fishman, so he gets higher points overall, if that makes any sense. So I said before, all drivers get points, so it is imperative that you fight for as long as possible to keep moving. If you do lose a wheel, you are done, you are out. If you roll over, you're done or out. On to the next truck. Dirk Suggett, another crowd favorite. Racing in the 96 Kinetic truck. Dirk's off to a good start, fast start, keeping that rear end under control, keeping the power to the floor, to the ground. You can hear he's off the throttle early, gonna try to keep that truck nice and under control. Feathers in the throttle through the horseshoe, back onto the power, onto the deadly straight. See if we can keep the truck under control. Nice side shot there. You can see just how fast he is going through here. Keeping it very smooth, very fast. See, hard on the brakes into that corner and then back on the power immediately. And so far, very clean run by Dirk. A little bit wide there. Keeps it fairly under control. Back onto course. We'll see how he handles coming up onto the tabletop. Ooh, hard through the first section. See if he brakes a little bit. Now he's going to go hard off the tabletop. Big air. Oh, he hangs on to it off into the soft sand. And he's going to jump off the dune back onto the course. Into the dunes, we'll see how Dirk can handle the ever dangerous corner straight into the dunes. It's been sent most drivers off into the sand. Let's see how he handles it. Into the sand. Can he hang on to it? As you can see, he's keeping that power down. He's back on course. So far, a couple hiccups for Dirk. Otherwise, a solid run so far. Onto the back stretch, and he is just holding the throttle to the floor. Keeping that back end under control. Doesn't seem like there's too much wheel spin going on. Back end kicks out just a little bit. Slow through the corner there. He's got to fight to get that speed back. Luckily, he has a long straightaway to get it back. Through another S bend. Through the rocky section. He's doing a great job at keeping his foot to the floor, power down, keeping that back end very under control. Smooth through the corners, very smooth through the corners. Let's see how he handles the last little kicker before the bends. Big air off the kicker. Into the last few bends here. Little bit wide. Keep it under control. Up onto the final straight. Power to the floor. And 4:14.18 for Dirk Suggett. That'll put him in first place. Nice run from Dirk Suggett. Very smooth, very fast. That is the pinnacle of keeping that back end under control. Just an overall great run from Suggett, and that is going to put him in first place overall. Onto the final truck, Rodney Elliott, the veteran driver of the group. Rodney is very fast, very dangerous. Definitely a contender for winner of the season overall. As you can see, he is flying through this first section. Wide through the horseshoe. Back on course, power to the floor. See if he can keep the speed for the deadly straight. You can see that suspension working very hard. Ooh, little bicycle, little bobble. But he is keeping his speed very well. He didn't overcompensate. He didn't throw that back end out too far. Just a good shot of showing how fast he is going. Takes the corner nicely. So far, not the cleanest of runs, but definitely a fast run. Rodney Elliott is flying through the desert. Fairly clean through the jumps there. Looks like he might have caught some shrub on the exit of the last jump there. Hopefully that didn't do too much damage to his truck. Up onto the tabletop. Back down the tabletop. Big kicker here. He handles it perfectly. And Rodney Elliott really just showing his veteran driving status, just showing how well he can handle obstacles. Into the dunes, let's see how he handles them. Will he overshoot the corner? Not too bad, keeps the back end under control, back on the course. It does look like his back end is floating quite a bit through here. Ooh, hits the rocks. Hopefully that didn't damage anything. You can see a little bit of the right door paneling kind of bouncing in the wind there. That must be from when he caught that shrub. Rodney Elliott, you can hear he's that deeper sound. He's definitely keeping geared up the entire time. Just trying to reduce that wheel spin. A little bit wide through the corner there. But managing to maintain all momentum. .254 through the checkpoint in the back straight. So I stated before, not the cleanest of runs, but definitely one of the faster runs we've seen today. We'll see if he can keep it together for the final bit here. Big air. I think that might be the first person we've seen really catch a lot of air through that section. Hard into the final corners here. Off course, loses a lot of speed. Let's see if he can get it back. Still has good time. A little bit of damage to the left side now. You can see both sides of his body paneling are flopping in the wind. Hits the kicker, lands it perfectly. Did the last couple bends. Ooh, backhand kicks out just a little bit, straightens it out for the final straight. Power to the floor. 4:12.10. That's going to put Rodney Elliott in first place despite his couple of bobbles and body damage. Overall, fantastic run from Rodney Elliott. Better than I thought that was going to end up. Like I said before, even though he was kicking around a little bit, he managed to keep it under control. And let's look at our time standings. First place, we have Rodney Elliott, 4:12.10. Suggett, 4:14.18. Third place, Jonathan, 4:19.37. Martin in fourth place at 4:23.33. Fifth place is Dale at 4:24.17. Sixth place, Power, 4:30.22. Seventh place, Summers, DNF. And eighth place, Fishman with a DNF. And as stated before, Summers will get that extra position just because of distance covered. On to the point standings. Coming in first place, Elliott with 8 points. Suggett with 7 points. Third place, Jonathan with 6 points. Fourth place, Martin with 5 points. Fifth place is Dale with 4 points. Sixth is Power with 3 points. Seventh, Summers with 2 points. And eighth, Fishman with 1 point. And that is going to be the end of the first round of the ADR Desert Racing Championship. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button down below. If you're still here, very much appreciate it. If you haven't yet, subscribe, like, comment. If you have any suggestions for this series, I plan on doing a full season, if not multiple seasons. Thank you.